Excellent. The more I hear that intro, the more I like it. At the beginning, it was kind of like, but now I like it, and I hope everybody likes it. Welcome back, the Smartphone
Well,
Show. We have a new episode, episode number 3. We were away from a couple of weeks. We were really busy. You'll find out why we were very busy. And I welcome to Ronald. Ronald, how are you doing? Good night over there in Portugal.
good evening to you. How you doing, Greg? It's all good over here. Freezing where I am, but it's nice. I love it. How's Chicago?
Excellent. Well, Midwest is becoming Midwest at this time of year. November, we had a good break from the cold weather, but now officially, as of November 21st, when we are recording this, we're officially in fall full mode. Thanksgiving week. For everybody that is going to watch this in the upcoming week, probably next week. I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving,
Thank
full
you.
with joy. You were able to take a break from work, unlike from us. We just keep working and working, which we love, 24/7 pretty much.
You know the thing about you, Greg, is that when you start texting me, calling me, it's like 2 p.m. here already. I've been up since like 6 in the morning. So and while we start recording or start having other meetings, it's 11 p.m. here. So believe me, I need Thanksgiving fast.
You need a Thanksgiving. You need an official break from
Yeah, I do.
everybody on us,
Yeah.
on our side, on the North America side of the business. Well, episode 3 is called A New Home. Star Wars New Hope, but a new
It's a
home
new
for
trip,
us.
man.
Exactly. So, why are we calling it a new home, episode 3? We actually have switched from the LinkedIn live shows to more robust, more appealing recording sessions. We're going to be able to be more free about it. We're going to have more guests coming soon. Actually, next episode, it's a very interesting surprise guest that we're going to have that everybody's going to love. And we have a couple of things. New home, we have a YouTube channel now. Episode 1 and 2 are actually over there. We have a new landing website that is going to be there. The links is going to be in the description. Please go
Everywhere in
there.
the description.
Exactly. If you miss one other episode, just go back, click. It's going to be there available, fully loaded already. And being a food show, retail, and everything related to food and beverage and in the industry, we don't have an agenda. What we have is a menu. So, Ronald, today's menu is that we're going to
What is
explain and
today?
we're going to talk
What,
about
tell me what's today's menu and what today's special is.
uh, today's special is going to be special specials all the way to the end. The main menu is going to be we're actually going to talk about why it took us a while to do episode 3 from episode 2. We went on America's Food and Beverage Show in Miami. A pleasure to be there with you, my friend.
Likewise.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Chicago's PLMA show, which is the Private Label Manufacturing Association show. That's a long name. That I had the honor to be there last week. With those two, we actually introduced a new section, Ronald: the good, the bad, and the ugly. I hope you like that intro too. This is
Very
something
lovely,
that
for sure.
this is something that we're gonna interact with our guest and with you and myself. We're gonna talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of either an expo that we go and a show that we go, or a new news that we just found
The
out in the
bad,
retail
you can
industry.
consider the bad one of your sauces, man. One of your hot sauces, because it's going to be the hot part of the show. The bad. So
Exactly, exactly. And then we're gonna talk about the Common Ground premiere Chicago, that Remasian food show, and the food on was able to be there, and it's gonna be interesting. So if you don't have anything else, we can just get started, get going. Does it sound good? Sounds like a plan?
Sounds great. Sounds great. Let's go. Let's get started. Uh, let's talk about Miami.
Excellent. So, Miami, we were able to bring the people from Portugal, yourself, and we were there in September, the third week of September, in America's food and beverage show, which is one of the largest show related to the American food to the food and beverage industry. I like it a lot, and actually, let's use this time to introduce the new section: the good, the bad, and the ugly. With the good, then we're gonna do the bad, and we're gonna do the ugly. I'm gonna start with each part, and then you tell me if you agree with me or we agree to disagree. I'm gonna start with the good. We have an app. Actually, before going to the show, we were able to download the app. The user interface actually is very clear and easy. You can book. You can book actually a meeting with a supplier or a provider
Mm-hmm.
before going to the show, which actually maximizes your participation in the show. This is something that going back to the prior show, we were able to utilize with Team Forest, saying, prepare to the show. If you're going, make sure you see the list of who is going there, segregate the groups that make more relevant to your business, being a food distributor, a packaging provider, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, go ahead and plan a little bit ahead. The app was able to let you do that, which is it's a great advantage from my side. It had a map of the floor, which allowed you to prepare. If you are very strict and you're going to prepare a map, well, that's going to maximize your show for sure. If you're a member of of the America's Food and Beverage, it can give you a little bit more of a situation. I don't know about yourself, but I love the central stage. It was very dynamic. We have a few tastings. I don't know if you remember that wine tasting for Spain. They gave you a little bit of jamón ibérico, which is awesome. It gives an opportunity to interact with the crowd. I really feel that that center stage, it's something that probably on our shows can learn from. It was really good. Overall, I thought it was spacious. The stands between every stand, you can see clearly an avenue to walk. You were not knocking on people between and everybody that was walking. And the last point, I will say that the liquor and beverage section, it's a coincidence. It was very entertaining. They had like a mini bar with a section of someone doing actually, I think they were doing a show. They were doing a video recording of the show. It was very fresh, was very dynamic, and that draws attention to the people. They want to see what is going on. They have music. It's entertaining at the end. You want to see and you want to be excited about the products. If there's a product that is boring and is strict and that's all you want to do business, you want to also build relationships in these type of shows, because relationships at the end is going to give you the edge where everybody has a similar product. Relationship building is very important. They're going to remember you. They're going to recall you when there's an opportunity. So that part, I think I love. This is the good for me of the America's Food and Beverage. You agree? You have your own goods. Tell me about it.
That's a lot of good stuff. That's a lot of good stuff. I have to agree with you on a lot of basically 99% of everything you said. I did love the center stage. Um, I think there was this company from Spain that was making some jamón serrano, and they gave us some wine. I think that was fantastic. Then there was this Mexican chef. Well, what's his name? Remind me. Really better with names. Uh,
Chef Oropesa, which actually, let's put a picture. Let's put a picture of me with him. I introduced myself and I was
I'll
able
do a
to
picture with
have
you
a
and check
quick chat with
this, and
him.
then you can have
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
5 seconds of fame there with
Well, we're
Champion.
saying hi to him in case he's watching us.
Yeah. So yeah, so he was fantastic. I got to watch him, and I didn't know who he was, and I'm very happy that you introduced me to him and let me know who he was and let me know about his work, and pretty cool. I like that representation from Mexico. Um, I like the Japanese section with the tuna fish and
True.
the wagyu meat. I think was amazing. They did a fantastic job,
And the
and
knife making. Don't forget about the knife making. We're gonna put a
yeah,
video too also.
yes, I think they were great. And then probably my favorite too was the beverages, the energy drinks. I think they were very creative with the names. We got to see cocaine energy drink, and there was this other one was
Excel. We did Excel. We did the group from
the
Texas
infused
as
one,
well.
the marijuana infused tea,
Correct.
milonga.
Hmm.
I think that's milonga.
Milonga. That's true.
I loved it.
Yerba
I
mate
loved it.
milonga.
Yep.
It's really
So
nice. Exactly.
so yeah, I think they were great. I think they were very creative. I'm probably missing a couple of names, but yeah, I think I really like
Yeah.
the beverage section of the show. Um, I have to remind the viewers though that we went with another group with which is the Hispanic Retail Chamber of Commerce, which we'll talk about maybe later on or maybe in another show. I'm not too sure. Depends how things flow. But yeah, we went along with them. We tagged along with them. We were going in as a group. Um, to be honest with you, I think it was probably one of the saddest booths in the whole American food and beverage.
Leave that for the ugly. Leave that for the ugly. I have something
Not
similar
necessarily
where
ugly.
you're going to the
I'm just
ugly.
saying. I'm just
Not
saying.
directly for that, but you'll see.
That's not
You'll
the
see where
ugly
I'm
part.
going.
That's not the ugly part. Yeah, but anyway. So yeah, I think that was it. Oh, and the Haitian the CARICOM community, which is I'm
True.
proudly part of the CARICOM community, which is the Caribbean community. We got Haiti, Guyana, Trinidad, Tobago, um, the Saint Martin Island. So we're all
San
part of the
Martin,
CARICOM.
Trinidad and Tobago. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Suriname too forms part of the CARICOM. So I was very happy to see we have representation at the America's Food and Beverage section, and I got to hang out with them and see some of their stuff, and I think they're doing amazing, great work.
I'm going to tell you a story now. Well, two things. Speaking about new home, we have a new setting here, the food on here, some of the salsa, some of the partners. Ronald himself, you can see his new yellow shirt in honor of the Smart Food Show. He recently uh, moved from the city to a nicer, more calm setting. So I'm happy for you, my friend, that you're gonna be there, breathing awesome, fresh, not polluted air. So new homes. That's why we also call the new home our episode. Speaking of the Caribbean, the story I was going to tell you, and one of the things that we do here in both of our businesses is try to help each other. One of the things that we do on partnership together with the Food On is that our network is really big. And not necessarily means that we're going to profit off it, but we're going to help our connections. So any connections that is out there listening to us, just hear about it. 1 week ago, one of my food distributors friends here called me and say, Greg, do you happen to have any or know any Caribbean products? And I went to my Rolodex and I actually went into the one of our friends from the America's Food and Beverage Caribbean um, uh, exhibitors that were over there. Just pull the name, pull the business card, took a picture, send it to them, and hopefully they're gonna make business. They're in the Chicagoland area, and they were looking for Caribbean products, which they are. They are 100% Caribbean products. We're probably gonna put the name over there so we can give you more exposure to our Caribbean friends. All right. We're gonna switch to the bad. The bad. I was talking a little bit about the app and how does it work. Um, there's no tutorial on how to use the app. I know for some people they know they've been use it. Maybe they don't use it when they go because they are season players. But for the newer players, that's something that probably can be improved. There's some people that may be able not to connect as good with the more and prior participants. If this is your new year, you're probably gonna struggle with the app and how it connects and how you're gonna do business. And that's something that I'm gonna say the bad. I'm gonna keep it short because I wanted to focus more on the good, wanted to focus more on the ugly a little bit, but that's my bad overall. The little bit of the interface, networking is it's hard if you are starting, if you're an emerging brand, a new brand. There's something that it can be improved. Just get more tools for the people that are starting up. Get more ways for them to maximize the investment. It's an investment. A lot of companies were coming from overseas. Um, like you
A
from
lot of
Portugal,
people,
I was coming from
a lot of
Chicago,
people,
but I mean that's something that it can be improved.
a lot of people were coming from overseas, and most of these people, they're they're they don't have huge corporations, and they're starting their business. Or it's a small business, so they're trying to scale up. So these type of shows it's a huge deal. It's a big deal for them. It's a way for them to expand, and having proper tools available for these for the people. I think is extremely important. I would have to add another layer to that. I think more visitors would have been more helpful, um, uh, especially for the vendors, and maybe making the meeting areas more accessible to everyone. And definitely, they should have had like a place where people can have lunch. I think they only had one bar available for lunch. I think it was one kiosk or something like that, and that's
You
it
didn't go
for
to
the
the beverage section.
yeah. So I had a lot of tuna. I went a lot with the Japanese because I was really hungry. So and you saw that huge line there because there was only one place where you can actually buy food. So
They were amazing,
definitely,
actually. Yeah, they were amazing.
yeah, that's something that they could really improve. Probably having 3 or 4, maybe even 5 places for people to choose where they want to eat, because the queue just got really big, and it was a little bit annoying uh, getting there to eat.
I agree. I agree. I actually lived out of samples those two, those days. All right. We're gonna go into the next section, the ugly. And if you can just get closer to your microphone so we can hear you or all your ideas. Um, the last section, the ugly. All right. So, as you mentioned, there were some of us that were participants of or other organizations. This is done in expos, which is great. I'm actually working on a similar project that some countries like I don't know, Colombia, Mexico, Brazil, they will work together and they will bring 5 companies or 10, and they'll share the booth. I was participant on a share booth and Rimasi as well. So Furon and Rimasi and Furon together and separate. We were partnering on that shared booth. Unfortunately, I was not able, and I did this check. I went to the app and I checked and I looked for my name and Rimasi's name. I was not able to find them. So
Yeah,
I understand that if you're a share booth, you don't show up on the databases at the moment, prior, at the moment, and after, because the app for the America's Food and Beverage Show is still on. You can still go and look for companies, which is great. Kudos for that. But that then for everybody that is sharing, that probably there is their first show or have a low budget to participate or have scheduling um, situations and cannot go, it's a disadvantage for them. So it's double disadvantage. They start with a share booth, they have less budget to participate, and they're invisible pretty much if you search. And you can be missing a lot of opportunities. So those share booths, either for from the organization itself or the people that is looking and is putting together the share booth, just do a little bit of more step work on that. Try to see how you can showcase those companies. Try to
Well,
see
just
if you can put them out
it,
there. I mean, they're
but the
already
thing
going.
if you're working, the thing is, if you're working, and sorry to interrupt you, Greg, but the thing is, if you guys are co-sharing one of these booths, um, and you're several companies participating together, you have to really organize yourselves very well. You can't leave certain things for the last minute, for the last moment. You got to make sure you have the samples a week before the event starts. You got to make sure you have the roll-ups available at least a week before the show starts. The cards, the flyers, everything, and you got to have a design. How you're going to try to capture people's attention if you're going as a group, and whoever is the leader of this group has to optimize all these tools for you guys, because they're paying for one booth, and they're showing off like 10, 15 different companies in one booth. So you gotta they have to maximize as much as possible, and they gotta and I think as the whatever organization you're going with, in our case we're going with the Hispanic Retail Chamber of Commerce, they have to push a little bit more to give exposure to the companies participating in that booth. Like for example, like what Greg mentioned before, if you're sharing a booth with another company, then your name doesn't show up or whatever. So you lose like 90% of business right there, like that. 90% of business. If Greg and I, and this is from our own experience, if we didn't start moving around, you know, and giving up cards and meeting different people, it would have been a total fiasco, a total failure. Because another thing, you got to make sure uh, who your organizers are, and you got to be you got to make sure they do as what they promise they will do in these events. In our case, we will promise certain things that never happened, and it wasn't just our case. It was like 99% of everybody who participated with our group never got this, never got what they paid for. And so, my advice to you guys, if you guys are going with a group, try to see past experience. Don't just rely on what the data they gave you. Verify, see the accuracy of that data, see if it's real, if it's fake, if it's made up numbers, because you don't want to have that kind of surprises like we did. And for me, it was a total shocker. I was shocked by
I
uh,
I can agree. I cannot agree more with what you're saying. Two ideas that I'm gonna share is one: if you're paying for something, uh, before you're paying for that, do your research. See what is going on. How was it last year? If there
who
were
are the people behind
reputable
it, and
reputable
who are the people behind
organization,
it. Yeah,
exactly, exactly. J- you pay for something that you are expecting. If it's something that is not clear, just clarify. Make sure you clarify. No, don't be afraid of speaking up. Don't be afraid of asking for. This is an investment. You have your hopes. You have people behind you that are uh, waiting for you to do and make the smart decision for them. And secondly, feel free to contact Ronald, to contact myself. We are more than happy to answer an email saying our experience was this, and that for a show, for a company. We are here to help. We are a community of small businesses that we're just trying to thrive. We are passionate about our product, our services, our platform, whatever it is. If you see us around, Ronald and myself will stop by and will give us our opinion on wherever we went. This is what is the show about. We want to share our experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We want to save you time and effort, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for a connection, we are here. That's why we were doing the
Don't
show.
let,
This is the
don't let
ultimate show. This is the ultimate goal of the show.
don't let others try to steal, or not steal. Don't let others take advantage of your passion for your product, for your services, for your company, and then come and rip you off like you got ripped off. And you know, and yeah, don't be afraid. I remember there was this one time I told Greg, listen, I'm gonna go up, step up to this guy, and I'm gonna go and talk to him right in the middle of this of a meeting. I'm not gonna say his name right now, but yeah, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm leaving." And I went up and I stepped up and I was like, "We need to talk politely, but serious, but serious." And he noticed that I wasn't playing around, and and I got his attention. So there are ways to do things, and then there are ways to do things.
Yep.
And
Yeah, the
he
good
looked
thing
at
about the
me.
community is that there's people that you can trust, the people that you can share information, people that you can ask for help. I'm and Ronald, we are uh, someone that is going to help you, that you can trust in the way of we don't have a contact, or we don't know about it. We'll let you know, and we'll try to see who we can connect you with. Uh, let's all learn. Let's all make a more prosperous community, and we're happy to help you. So, with that said, the next show that we were able to participate as a group,
Yes, and
Furo and
Brandon
Rimasi.
a little bit.
Yes, exactly. Because we're running out of time. This is fun, but
What's the
we also
PMLA?
need to be productive and effective.
The PMLA.
Correct.
How did that
So
go? I wanted to be.
PLMA, private label manufacturing show, and I need to look at my board over there because it's a long name. Um, this is held in Chicago. Unfortunately, Ronald, you were not able to be here because you had to take care of business in Portugal. But
And
me
we have
being
a budget
local,
too. And let's be honest with the viewers, and we have a budget too. So if one of us can be in one place and the other one can be in another,
yep,
let's
correct.
split
Yeah, we split ourselves out. All right,
it.
so I'm going to start with the good, the bad, and the ugly. You tell me if you agree. Does it make sense? The good, I was saying at the beginning that the app for this show, it's really good. User interface is clear and easy. You can still, because I just checked a few days ago. By the way, this show is in November, towards the second week of November every year in Chicago. So next year, everybody is feel to contact me for insights about it. It's in the Donald Stevenson Convention Center, Rosemont, Chicago. For those the locals that are listening to us, you can book with companies ahead of time in the app. I love that. I was able to just scroll down, see what is going on. They'll give you Sunday. It's usually just to go ahead and register. I recommend that everybody is traveling overseas. Usually the show will be Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of that given week around the teens, the early teens. Go on Sunday so you can register. They're going to give you this book, which is awesome. I mean, this is actually like, remember when you were doing your bachelor's or your master's? This is like one of those books. Look at that.
Yeah,
So all of this is
it reminds me of my physics book. So
there.
yeah,
You go. Look at that. It has like a
I can have
an
them there,
atom
but
or
it's not an
something.
atom.
Yeah, fusion, whatever it is.
Like
This is
electronics and
really
those things.
this is actually you can keep for yourself. There's a lot of contacts. You can share the contacts. You can
It's like
see
the yellow pages of the PMLA.
that. Oh my God, you lost my phrase. I was gonna do that, but I was gonna say the white pages. The white pages. So
And
this
yellow.
is this is awesome. Yeah, this is
Yellow.
awesome. I love that. I've I've gone through a few. By the way, I'm doing a collection of participations. Look at us. See how far I can go. Um,
Greg always has to
that
show up. Greg always has to start showing off his stuff from the background. Keep
exactly.
going.
That is great. If you're a member, I'm not doing a commercial for this, but I really probably next year we're gonna become a member. You get insights. You get some of the unified databases and metrics, which is great if you're looking to do a deal for upcoming businesses. There's a lot of excellent amount and quality amount in the food and beverage participants. It's well organized. Your participation uh, credentials will be color coded. I found that amazing because right away, if you let's say this is blue, I don't know if you can see it, but that's blue. That means general participant. Yellow is a tip. I don't know if they're gonna keep it for the next
Did
year.
you have to
It's
pay?
a
Did you have to
buyer.
pay for that? By the way,
Was that?
did you have to pay for that?
It's included on the participation, which goes around $600 to participate. If you become a member, uh, they'll give you a discount, which is around $150. So, guys, to consider again, here we're giving information for you to utilize. It pays to be a participant. Just consider that if you are a member, you have to be the manufacturer. You cannot be a broker. You cannot be a third party. You cannot be a conglomerate. You have to be the producer. It makes sense if you're looking to become a private label manufacturer in the US, which by the numbers, it makes sense. It's a good business. It's a very very
Guys,
competitive
remember,
business.
these things cost a lot of money. Sometimes it's better to go, like Greg says, as a viewer, as a participant, and you know, try networking the first year, the second year, and then give it a shot the third year. Because there's a lot of logistics, and it's not just about getting the booth and paying for the membership. It's also the logistics, the stuff that you got to carry over there. In my case, for example, Rimasi, we do equipment. So imagine carrying a truck of equipment, and then you need the loaders and all this kind of stuff, and it's pricey. It gets pricey. So you know, plan ahead, plan ahead, and choose wisely.
Uh, Totally. My last point on the good, and then we go to the bad, is they had this idea market section, which it was everything that was a new product. It was kind of like a mini museum with with the shells and everything, with the product, description of the product, the producer and the manufacturer. That was awesome. Anything that is new, they have strict guidelines on what is a new product, how to submit it, and all that. So that was awesome. I loved it. It was a really, really nice section. The bad. One of the things that they had, it was seminars and conferences. I mean, I can say the bad because I'm a nice guy. I'm just gonna be really, really nice about it. The bad is that the seminars were held at the Hyatt, which is not exactly across the street from the main entrance. From the loading entrance, it was across the street. So if you're loading, you can just go ahead and cross the street. But you have to walk a good probably 5 to 8 minutes back and forth on the seminars, and everybody was in Chicago during this year. It can get bad. Luckily, we had a break. This year has been really really mild, but you can get snow in Halloween, so that's one of the things. So that's about seminars were offsite. The the non-food section, as you mentioned, I don't know what you were mentioning that was sad. This was sad. The non-food section was sad.
Seriously.
I don't know why. Yes, I don't know why. It looked more like undersold. There was a lot of spaces between booths and booths from section to section. Um, I don't know. Maybe you can sell a little bit more on the food and beverage and give more opportunity for these type of suppliers. Honestly, I think there are more buyers and more um, companies that want to be in the food and beverage section than in the, let's say, package supplier, toilet papers, hygiene, sourcing,
They gave free
general
samples of food.
pharmacy. I am not gonna speak about what type of free samples that we're doing in the hygiene section, but I was not compatible with those samples. Let's put it that way.
And you know,
So
I think this show is this event is our first episode was Aldi is buying out Southeastern grocers, and just today, or no, I'm sorry, yesterday, I saw this short video, this clip from the Wall Street Journal of how Aldi is becoming the number one U.S. Grocery store. Being a foreign company. It's a German company, and how little variety of products they have. I mean, the average supermarket has over 6,200 products on their shelves. They only have like 1,200 products, and yet they make more money and they are more profitable, and people love it more. And why? And another thing that's really cool about Aldi is that they are private label. Most of the stuff they carry on their shelves is private label. So if you're starting out, for example, your own chain of convenience stores, if you're starting your own supermarket line, or if you guys already are a group of supermarkets and you want to get together and start selling, private labeling yourself, to getting yourselves, you know well organized to make your company be more profitable. Because let's be realistic, you got these, you know you, you got these monsters like Aldi and Trader's Joe, and they're just going to take your customers away. This is the event where you want to go.
exactly. It- I was going to mention that um, the private labeling industry is skyrocketing. Um, I don't want to. I'm not an expert on it, but all the data that I've seen, that's for some companies that's the solution. You don't care. I mean,
Greg,
it's not that you don't care. You don't have to
you have
put
to look at the
your
inflation.
budget in marketing.
You have to look at the inflation too. And inflation is going skyrocket. Every day things are getting more expensive, and not just supermarkets and grocery stores, even restaurants gotta have, they gotta come up with a solution to make their customers come more and spend less,
Hmm.
because every
Yep.
day, a dollar, it's weaker and weaker. It's not just the dollar, the yen, the euro, whatever. It's less stuff that you can buy with a dollar. So
Hmm.
sometimes people are like, okay, so this box of cereal, the brand label cost me $6, but I'm buying almost the same thing, lower quality, but it only costs $2. I mean, it's a huge difference. It's a huge difference.
Totally. And an
And
explanation,
it
just
applies
a
to restaurants
connection.
too. to interrupt, and it applies to
Yep,
restaurants too. McDonald's uses,
it is.
I think it was Heinz ketchup. I think is what with the one they use. Maybe they just want to go and private label their own ketchup, and it's cheaper for them, cheaper operation. You know, the same thing can apply for a
Oh,
small.
I'm telling you, yes, for sure. I work in a McDonald's supplier for 16 years, and yeah, most of the McDonald's products are 3PL. Making a
And listen
connection
to
on what
the
you're saying
restaurant owners
about
out there. Listen to me. Make your own sauce. Get it with the food on. Call that guy. Ready.
awesome. Making the connection of what is private labeling and the importance of it. Go back to episode 1. We have a section there on explaining importance of that. Uh, awesome. So I'm going to do the ugly, and then we end with this and we move to the next section. The ugly. I'm just gonna be blunt about it, and this is not. By the way, before I forget, kudos to Sharon Davis from the Private Label Manufacturing Association. She was very helpful. She answered all my questions regarding the participation and how I was able to be there. By the way, um, the ugly. Oh my god. Uh, you can, and this is for the companies putting a booth and sending people over there. You can right away tell who was really passionate about what's going on, what they were presenting. Many of them were probably their own owners of the product. Obviously, you can tell when there is a massive company, a really, really big company, because of their booth, how it looks like. I mean, some of the booths have their own office to have meetings on them. They have projector, printer, fax, whatever you name
It
it.
reminds me of the Euro shop in Germany, in Dusseldorf. It's every 3 years. But yeah, the booths have their own offices, and some have their own mini bars and
Yeah,
restaurants
they
and
have
stuff.
their own parking. Um,
Yeah,
the,
it's pretty big.
you can see you can see people very unmotivated. Uh, you can see they were just there because someone sent them. You have to be careful. I don't know if those companies are participating because they just need to participate, or they had the budget, or I don't know what they do with it. But the people that are there presenting your product, being the front end to your product, will do the change. Either if you miss an opportunity, you are a quote unquote attractive, and attractive I mean attractive, you are appealing product, you are a product that is something that you're interested in hearing about, even though you may not be looking for that particular product, but you want to hear about it. And the person representing and presenting your brand, and it has to be nice. And forget about that if they look nice physically, the emotionally and on how they present themselves. There are people that were just sitting around just looking at the phone.
You
People
guys,
that you ask for something.
this is
People that
one
you,
topic we haven't really mentioned on the show, but company culture is extremely important. And you want to
it
make
is.
sure the right people there representing you, representing your product, because a lot of people see founders and CEOs as well. They just make decisions and stuff. We're passionate about our stuff. You want to know how many hours I have to spend sometimes getting spec sheets and technical data done? Just get it. It's just 3 pages to send to a customer. Many hours, sometimes even days. And so we're very passionate about it. And if I'm gonna have somebody represent my brand, my company, it's got to be somebody who's passionate about the industry, who believes in the company values, who shares our morals and ethics, and that's why we have Greg with
Yeah.
us. That
And I'm gonna say something. If you're gonna send someone that you, just because of the fact of sending someone, you, don't do it. Just you go. The
or
owner
get
of
a
the
professional
company.
actor. Pay an extra buck to make sure they're a professional actor and know how to play the
Yeah.
role.
It,
So they're passionate about it.
exactly. It is fun. It is fun. If you're gonna participate on this type of shows, and and you are the owner, or you have a lot of your CEO, CFO, whatever it is, you know what? Just go have fun, learn, and try to make connections. Don't look at it as I need to make this type of sales. Sometimes making a connection and making a networking relationship, it pays more in the long run than actually coming back with one sale. I mean, obviously, yeah, you want to come back with the sale, but if you're forced to participate just because of the a corporate resolution, send someone that is going to have fun with it, and is going to have the most the is going to be able to interact with people in a friendly way, in a joyful way, and is going to be happy about it. I mean, at the end, that's it. But that was very early, man. I lost. I saw a lot of people that were just there, like, my God, dude, just have fun. But anyway,
It happens. It happens.
it happens. It
So,
happens
Greg,
very frequently.
tell me about the Common Ground premiere. What was all that about? You made a huge fuss about it. I saw that Rick Bailey's was there too.
I
What
was
was
there.
it? And what
One
does
of
it
the
have to
most,
do?
probably the most famous chef in the Midwest Chicagoland area. He's
Sorry to interrupt
developed
you. I'm sorry to
he's
interrupt you.
developed many, yeah, he's developed many restaurants. His brand Frontera Chicken Kitchen was recently sold to Conagra Foods, but he built the brand really good. He is very hands-on. He goes to Mexico to actually experience the way of doing all those dishes, and then brings us back, twisted with his own experience, and it makes an awesome experience. Common Ground. It was in the Music Box Theater in Chicago. I was able to participate both from the Rimasi and the Food on point of view. Uh, Part of the proceeds that we chip in were going through the project, locally sourced food, locally sourced ingredients. Was an amazing experience. This is something, being myself in the Midwest, I'm a walking distance from a cornfield and soybean field. I'll show you pictures of it. Uh, this is something that actually hits on me, because one of the things that Common Ground, the film, a documental film by Josh and Rebecca Tickle, which done prior films similar, like Kiss the Ground. They will open your eyes in regards of I'm going to say this slowly, regenerative farming, which means there's a way of nature, how nature operates, on how crops are they come every year, and you really don't need to kill the ground every time just to have high yields, or what you think is going to be high yields, because by this type of farming, eventually you're going to have more yield and more profit, in a way of saying it, to what the big companies are telling you to do. So this is something that is teaching people the natural way, the ancient way of doing it, can lead you to a more
Cycle.
profitable, a more natural cycle. Thank you. A more natural cycle of doing the crops. You have less pesticides. You have less human involvement, in the sense that that is breaking the nature. Like when you're tilting the ground, you're breaking all the ecosystems that are under the soil, that are
Yes.
bringing carbon back
There,
to the soil
there,
and nutrients, and
there's a
better
huge
flavor to
difference.
your ingredients.
There's a huge difference from buying a tomato from, I don't know, from a Bravo supermarket than getting a tomato locally here in Europe. Huge difference in taste, in texture, in color, in everything.
Yeah.
Something I get a lot from people moving in here to European countries is that the food is so different, you know, and that has a lot to do with the way the land is treated. You know, here corporate farming it does exist, but not is not as big or is not as common as in the United States. Here, there are more local farmers, and that there's less um, artificial farming. I don't know if that's the correct term for it, but it's more, you know, well, Monsanto, I think, is the name of this company. Um, I,
Uh,
I, I, I
yeah,
read.
we talk about they talk about it
Yeah,
in the
I
that
study
show.
I study a little chemistry and we looked into a little bit what Monsanto was doing. I don't remember quite much, but I know that one of the things that they do is, for example, that if you buy an apple from that came from a Monsanto seed, the seed from that apple is not going to
Sterile.
yeah, it's not going to produce anything at all, and it
Yeah.
can actually and actually using the seeds from Monsanto can actually contaminate the soil
Mhm.
and make it not feasible for you to get crops there anymore. And they want to also. I think they've been also trying to take some genetics from certain animals and then I think it's patent them, So I think they were the first company to actually patent a being, a gene. So that's something here that in Europe you can't do. You just can't do that here. Laws here are very more strict when it comes to food quality, and there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. So pitch me in with common ground.
It is amazing because I mean, at the end, it is not competing one country versus the other one. It's just follow the nature, follow the cycles
Yeah,
of the sun and the moon and water, rain, soil is very important. To the extent that soil can absorb a few of the pollutants that are going out there, pollutants in the form of carbon, and that can be then uh, transmitted in the form of nutrients to good nutrients to the plants. That black soil that is like you can find in the Amazons. I mean, in the Amazons, you can see that black soil that is really, really fertile, and I mean, you can grow pretty much anything over there. And all of the countries can do the same. I mean, it's not
and look,
like competing
respecting
one country
nature,
versus the other one.
and I'm gonna probably get a lot of backlash from what I'm going to say, but respecting nature doesn't make you anti-capitalist. On the
True.
contrary, I think it can make you even more of a capitalist because you want to take care of what's making you money. We destroy the planet, we destroy uh, the things where we're getting our raw materials from to make our equipment, our food, whatever, then we're doomed. And we're doomed, And I'm building a company, for myself, but I want to leave it not just for my kids, for my grandkids and my great grandkids, But if I'm going into practices, or we all go into practices where we're we're not going to leave a planet behind for our grandchildren, then what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I totally agree. Eventually, we need to be conscious about it. I think we are coming back to our the roots. A better way to say it. I don't think we can find. Um, speaking of roots, our roots in this podcast is not to be that long. Be really, really, really juicy on everything that we do, and I think we've done it. We are around almost getting to the 60-minute mark,
Yeah.
which is our way of saying it. That it's been enough. I love the episode. It went really, really quick. Even though we don't didn't have a guest, which usually tends to be a lot quicker and a lot of fun. But I
Next
have a
week,
lot of fun.
next episode, we're gonna have Diana Sheehan with us.
Correct.
Amazing lady, amazing
Yeah.
lady. Don't miss that
You
episode, you guys.
you beat me to it. Just gonna give a teaser. She does a lot of research, a different type of research that is gonna actually gonna help optimize for those companies that we were just talking about, the share a booth in the shows. I think you're gonna be interested about it. She is a home Chicagoland fellow. She is in the area, so hopefully I'm gonna meet her soon. Luckily, I haven't had the chance to meet her personally. We have a lot of work done together. She's actually done omnibus research on private labeling for the PLM LMHO with companies out of South America from different places. So I'm not gonna give away a lot, but it's gonna be a very interesting show, and just stick around. Um, I think we're done. I
That
don't.
was today's
I could
menu,
keep.
you
I'm
guys.
probably one. Yeah, it was pretty fun as usual. We'll see you next time. You'll see our contacts in the exit
The description
video.
below. This is gonna go on YouTube. Remember that. So
Correct.
in the
It's gonna go
description
on YouTube.
below. Yes.
We're gonna have a few shorts for people to eat bites of it. It was really fun. Suggestions, if you want to be in the show, just send us an email to the emails that you're gonna see there. The food on all of their people collaborating with us, Rimasi, Chicago, Portugal. I think that's it. Good night. We're gonna have a Thanksgiving break soon, but
I
we're
remember.
gonna come back.
We love y'all. Bye bye. Take
Bye.
care.